afternoon, y'all. Today I'm going to make another sewing project. So I wanted to try a new, more aesthetic background, hence why we're outside. I hope that you can hear me over the water. Hopefully it adds, a nice ambiance to this video, puts y'all in a good mood, gets you in the vibe to relax and be creative, or watch me struggle through a sewing project, as I often do. So today's project is I am going to be making a day dress inspired by the cultural folk costume / traditional wear of the Netherlands, specifically the most famous version harking from Volendam. I hope that I'm saying that right. If anyone speaks Dutch, I apologize. As to why I am making this, I want to give you a bit of background about me. I love history. I always have been very interested in history. I majored in international studies, which involves a lot of history and cultural studies, and I'm fascinated by not just world history, but interpersonal history, ancestry, and just who we are and how we connect to our own families and history as a kind of living dialogue between the past and the present. There's this great quote that I read once in a class about how history isn't true fact, it is in fact this dialogue constantly happening between the present and how we recontextualize the past. Because there is no such thing as true facts in history. I mean, there are facts like this battle happened, but who exactly was fighting in that battle? Why were they fighting? What were the exact military taxes? Which groups were affected by this? Which events, economics? It's all about what was written down at the time, what have we have found since, and how a specific historian is recontextualizing said historical events and accounts to our present day. So you can have a whole slew of historians studying the exact same event or historical figure, but based on that person, their biases, and the time period in which they are writing it, who their audience is, and their cultural context, it gets painted a different way. So sorry, that was just me fangirling, basically. So in terms of myself, I have a variety of different European ancestries and ethnicities in my background, and I want to go on a sort of personal journey, if you will, to try to reacquaint myself with some of those backgrounds. I've known since I was very young that a large percentage of my ancestry is from Ireland. I grew up listening to Irish folk songs and ballads and drinking songs, and I also grew up doing competitive Irish dancing here in the States. In terms of my ancestral background, I've always felt closest to Ireland than any of my other ancestral places of origin. If Ireland is the ancestral place of origin that I feel closest to, what is the place of origin that I feel most distant from? I'll give you 3 seconds to guess. 1, 2, 3, ding, 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 it's the Netherlands. I feel the most distance from the Netherlands. I actually have a large percentage of Dutch ancestry, and I know next to nothing about the Dutch. So I figured I would combine my love of history, folk costumes, with my own personal love of fashion and self-expression. So today's project is I'm going to go into a bit as to how I want to construct this dress. First, we need to understand how this dress is actually constructed in practice. So I was doing, some research for this project and this video, and it seems that this dress is made out of 4 to 5 different layers, and I do not think that that is in my wheelhouse of skills. From seeing how it's constructed, it oftentimes closes in the front, and I am not particularly skilled in installing front closures, and nor do I particularly want to. Another really traditional part of this outfit is the apron that goes over the striped skirt layer. I'm going to be putting pictures everywhere, I assume. So, The problem is that I don't often wear apron. While it would be interesting to make this dress in a bunch of pieces so that I can mix and match, I don't see myself as adding aprons as a part of my wardrobe, even though I am wearing an apron dress. at the moment. So I think what I might do instead is I'll make the over apron just a top skirt layer, you know, an over layer, if you will. So the skirt would be 2 tiers, the bottom tier being the stripes, the top tier being the black with the flower fabric at the top. Now, most of these sources that I'm looking at have very large embroidered flowers, and when I was fabric shopping today, I just couldn't find anything in that vein. But I've also seen some versions that use a smaller flower pattern fabric, so I'm going to go with that option to make it easier for myself. I mean, as I said in the beginning of this whole spiel, I want this to be a day dress. I want it to be something that I can wear out, you know, having fun, doing my thing, living my life. So I'm going to make it a bit shorter than traditional. I do like longer things, but I don't often wear things that are to my ankle. So I think what I'll probably do is shorten it probably to my calf, you know, so mid-calf. Mid-calf I think would be a good length, you know, a bit below the knee. That's comfortable. That's a comforting length for me, you know. Feel free to move around, do what you want. No fear of the wind. So I'm excited for this. This will be first of this thing. I don't know if I'll make more videos like this. It depends on how well this project goes for me. I'm very interested in making a German dirndl if this project goes well, although that seems much more complicated than this project will be. But yeah, I'm gonna show you the fabric that I got. So what you're about to witness here is my resistance to owning more than like 2 patterns at a time. I'm still sticking with my trusty fantasy dress pattern that I'm going to try to use for this. Now, as you can see here, this dress is constructed to have this middle panel sticking out here on the bodice. So what I'm going to do is when I'm cutting everything out, I'm going to pin these 2 side pieces to the middle piece so that there is no seam here, like at all. It's just gonna be one piece of fabric across the bodice, and I know this works because I have used this pattern to make a crop top before and it worked just fine then, so might as well work fine on this dress. I decided to not do these 2 seams here because this works best when you have this center front panel here, and since this skirt is not going to have that center front panel, I figured it would look weird with the skirt and the bodice. So yeah, we're not gonna do that. This is taking a lot of my mental skills, honestly, to try to figure out how I can configure this pattern to work for my wants and needs. And also, once again, I have bought way too much fabric for what I actually need. Surprise, surprise. Because I never measure anything before I go to the fabric store. So hopefully I'll find a project to use all this excess black fabric for. Which hopefully I find soon, because black is not really my color. I don't wear a ton of black. She says as she's wearing an almost completely black outfit. Just ignore everything I'm saying. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I've got the sleeve folded over there. And I've got the bodice pieces, the skirt folded up. And yeah, let's start cutting everything out.
I want to be a modern dancer.
What a super weird thing to say that came out of nowhere. I want to be a friend forever.
Pass me the cup of kinship.
Meet me at my place, a fortress of friendship.
I want to play Nintendo.
Who needs Nintendo when you got a friend? Go!
So, in accordance with how most of my sewing projects go, I don't actually know what I'm doing, and I can't find my measuring tape, so we're freehanding this. So right now I'm trying to make the bib portion of the bodice, so I just kind of measured with my hands, and nothing I've ever made before has had a high collar, so I'm just gonna try to cut in a semicircle on the fold of the fabric, and hopefully that works out. Stay tuned. This took literally all of my brain cells. I ended up actually just tracing a t-shirt to get the collar right, and now I'm gonna iron the collar down and sew it to the bodice, so the other side of the bodice, so that this is like sandwiched in between them. And then bodice, yay! Bodice will be done except for the sleeves, but you know, sleeves.
I wanna be your friend forever.
I want to meet the Dalai Lama.
With the power of a super friend, you're never alone. I wanna be your friend forever.
I want to learn to play the banjo.
Who needs a banjo when you got a banjo?
So I want to do a little bit of an update on the progress I've made. I did some progress on the skirt last week, but I didn't film it because I had some friends visiting, and also I didn't want to. So as I explained in the beginning, the skirt is going to have 3 layers to mimic the underskirt and apron of the original dress. I've attached 2 of the layers, the stripe layers and the black layer. I've also added pockets, which I'm very excited about. So plans for today are to sew the floral strip to the skirt, possibly add sleeves, I'm not looking forward to that, and then maybe trying to sew the skirt waistband to the bodice, which I'm not sure how that's going to work since the pattern I'm using for this dress does not actually originally have a waistband. I added that into this project due to how many layers of fabric were going to be in the skirt. I was a bit afraid that the bodice wasn't going to be able to take basically all the weight and the bulkage of all that fabric together, especially because the pattern I'm using relies on an immense amount of gathering, so you can see how that could lead to a lot of awkward bulkage if I didn't add a waistband. I don't know. We'll see how this works out in the end and if my guesswork pays off. But the fortunate thing of all of this gathering and the 3 layers means that this skirt is going to be very, very poofy. I'm going to be feeling a bit like a cupcake, which I'm going to very much enjoy. I cannot find my tape measure, so
Hey, Ray,
Yeah?
what do you want from Cane's?
The 3-piece with the fries and the toast and 2 sauces, please. What was I talking about? Yeah, okay, I think that's enough for this update, so I can stop procrastinating and actually start doing this, because as you can tell, me sitting here is just to procrastinate from starting to sew. I actually spent like a lot of time doing my hair and my makeup this morning because I was procrastinating filming and sewing. But you know, enough of this, enough I say. We're gonna start. Okay, I'm back. I wanted to talk through some of my feelings with the dress. I didn't film a lot of the in-between stage where I was working on the dress between this clip and the last clip. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with the dress's progress so far. I think it's really cute. I really love the contrast of the patterns between the trim and the floral, and I decided to forego the strip of the floral fabric that I was going to have as the top layer of the skirt. I tried it and stitched it a couple different ways. It just didn't work. It made it look bulky, and I just couldn't find a way to make my original idea of a 3-tiered skirt work. But since I was using the floral fabric as a waistband anyway, that symbolically represents the floral portion of the top of the traditional black apron that I was trying to replicate with the layered skirt idea. So I think it still works. Overall, the dress fits really well, except for the sleeves. This is as far as I can lift up my sleeves right now. I originally cut them a different way, which, similar to the skirt, ended up making the whole outfit look unnecessarily bulky. and unflattering. So I recut the sleeves to this shape, which is a lot more flattering, but also tight. So hopefully I have enough fabric left to recut more sleeves, hopefully in a way that is more freeing. Also, I don't know if you can notice, but the bottom layer, the stripes, is what I'm having the most trouble with. I don't know if I was just really off when I was cutting the panels.
Cannot find my tape measure.
I have 4 panels of the stripe layer, but yeah, it's super uneven. You can probably tell. I've already begun stitching it a little bit to make it more even, but alas, it's still super uneven. Even the black layer in the back, it's a lot shorter than other parts of the skirt. Aside from like the little snugs, like getting the hem even and also being able to fully move my arms, I'm happy. It's comfortable, form-fitting in the bodice, but not overly tight. This is definitely not going to be a summer dress because it's black and is made with multiple layers, and like I'm hot just standing in it even though I'm inside. So it's gonna be a dress for fall and winter, probably. So yeah, that's my progress for now. I think I'm gonna try to fix it a bit more, and then we'll do a more formal and aesthetic reveal. Hello! Thank you for watching this video and for coming along with me as I went through this project. I ended up not recutting the sleeves because they weren't nearly as restrictive as I first assumed them to be, so I was actually pretty fine with keeping them as they are. That's not to say that I might not change them again later, but for now this project is done and I'm very, very pleased with it. I was inspired to do this project because of a woman named Lady Izdihar. I highly recommend you check out her page. She is a historian and ethnographer specializing in former Soviet states, so Eastern Europe, Northern Central Asia, and places in the Russian Federation, stuff like that. Super interesting stuff, and she helped spark my interest in folk costume and basically inspiring me to do this project in the first place. So yeah, check her out if you're interested in that sort of stuff. Thank you for watching this video. I'm not sure when the next song cover is going to be out. I haven't been feeling very inspired to do song covers or make videos for them lately, but who knows when inspiration next will strike. In the meantime, I hope that you all are going to have a lovely time wherever you are. If you're stressed out, I hope that you find peace soon, and yeah, hope you're doing well.